Peace, peace, peace. I feel great right now. This is the third episode of Higher Self Podcast. So I want you to subscribe to my YouTube on Higher Self Network. And also follow me on Instagram at King Jake Mitch. And again, subscribe to my YouTube at Higher Self Network. And follow me at King Jake Mitch on Peace, my name is JAYTAUN. I go by Jake. Jake stands for JAYTAUN's a King every day. Today what was on my mind was going beyond. Today let's go beyond our limits. Let's go beyond time. Let's go beyond our standard way of eating in this country. Let's go beyond everything, because we exist beyond all of this. When we think about time, time is an illusion, so we can go beyond this idea of time because time isn't real. Most of this world operate on this westernized calendar, the Gregorian calendar, which is an illusion calendar because there's no beginning of time, there's no end of time. There's only now, this present moment. That's the only time that will truly exist. And we also can visualize our future, but the future isn't real. And we also could memorize our past, but the past isn't real, So the only time that truly exists is right now, So it's important that we apply ourselves now, And if you think of things like joy, bliss, these things can only be experienced beyond a place of time and space. So the best things about us is not even existent in this illusion of time. Imagine you go to work at a job you hate, 9 hours, an 8-hour shift, right? 30 minutes into that job will feel like forever compared to if you go on vacation for 5 days. The reason that vacation for 5 days go so quick and the reason why 30 minutes on a job you hate feel like forever is because time doesn't exist. Only the experience of that moment, that now moment. You look at music as an example, you can think of a great artist that you love or that you admire. Somebody that came to mind was Bob Marley. The reason why I use Bob Marley is because if you look at Bob Marley's music, a song that Bob Marley created in 1970, if you apply it to 2022, it still refers to what's happening in this moment. So how can a song that was created so long ago apply to now? That's where we get this idea of timeless music, because time doesn't exist, So from my observation, I believe Bob Marley was creating music from a creative higher level of self, a high vibrational music, which he called his own music, that he was bringing to existence in his now moment, but it applies further after he transitioned into something else, because time is an illusion. I think lifestyle is so important, how we consume foods, how we consume music, how we consume everything. Number one cause of death in this country, you can Google it, you can look it up, you can do your research, it's heart disease, followed by a pyramid of other diseases such as illness, high blood pressure, type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and so much more other categorized diseases, but at the primary root of all of these different diseases, the number one cause is lifestyle. So I think it's important that we explore lifestyle. And, if we can shift the mindset from eating from a survival mindset to a thriving and a purposeful mindset, then we can change the reality of who we are in this existence country, because food has been weaponized against us. This is no hidden agenda. It's out. We can see it. we became a market for deaf foods. And if we don't become aware of this, then we will continually eat ourselves to death, you know. So it's important that we go beyond the traditional way of eating and we get an understanding of self so that we can start eating to help us or eating to heal us, you know. It's two things that happen when we eat. It's either the food is helpful or it's harmful, you know. But in these communities, what most of the food is truly harmful. It's genetically modified. It's super overly processed, and then it's fast, and then it's chemically junk. So ultimately, we're eating ourselves to death. We're eating ourselves to trauma. We're emotionally eating, you know. So just really going beyond the circumstances of these traditions, you know. And there's nobody to blame when it comes to change, you know. We have to have the ability to change, you know, because change starts with us, you know. So if we want to thrive, and we want to create success, and we want to move in this type of life, you know, we must become aware of our lifestyle. We must become aware of what we're consuming, what we're putting into our bodies, you know. Is this helpful or is this harmful? You know, we must ask these questions, you know, because if you look, I was on the phone with my brother, you know, and we spoke for 3 hours, you know. We spoke about knowledge, you know. We spoke about wisdom. We spoke about peace, you know. We spoke about family and so much more, you know. And we concluded the conversation with, you know, the reason why we want to obtain this knowledge and we want to obtain this information, and it's so that we truly could be at peace with ourselves. You know, a lot of times what happens is when we get this level of power of knowing ourselves, then we move into an ego-based state to where we want to abuse power, you know. We want to create harm and suffering to others because we know we can. And ultimately that's suffering, you know. Somebody that wants somebody else to suffer is truly suffering. You know, somebody that wants somebody else to hurt is truly hurt. You know, the point of going beyond our physical, going beyond our mental, going beyond space and time is so that we can bring true clarity for ourselves and we can exist, you know, and we can make this place a better place, you know, for not only for ourselves but also for others to come, you know, for everybody, so we can be in help. I truly have respect for all school of thought, you know. I know that knowledge is infinite, you know, so there's many schools of thoughts, there's many theories, there's many process, there's many perceptions, you know. But in my knowing, I know that I am the creator, but I'm also the creation, you know. And this is what keeps me humble, this is what keeps me resilient. You know, what also keeps me humble and resilient is the fact all I know nothing, you know. And this allows me to remain a student, you know. This allows me to remain steady and keep on learning and respectful of all school of thoughts, you know, all perceptions, you know, and just truly bringing peace into this world by demonstration, you know. I'm gonna close out this episode, you know, and like I said, I always wanted to share gifts every time we end the episode, so I got 2 gifts. I got this book, The Power of Now. I actually completed this book. I probably read it twice, you know. And this book was recommended to me by my sister, Britt Sense. You know, Britt Sense is a photographer from Oakland who documents Black lives, you know. She goes across the world and just really just pull up to certain environments that people wouldn't pull up to, you know. That's how we met. You know, she just pulled up on us. You know, she's from Oakland. And I truly respect that, and we've been kicking it ever since. So I appreciate her for this book. But I also got this bell right here. My sister bought this, you know, my soul sister. Shout out to Nuna. She bought me this gift, you know, and I use this to meditate. So this is really a good alignment gift. That's fire. So those are my 2 gifts for today. Thank you.